It's your boy Dmoney, and I'm back with another My Top 10 Countdown. And today we're going to be talking about Top 10 Call of Duty World War maps. And this is the 5th installment in the Call of Duty franchise. This one went back to the World War II era, even though the Call of Duty 4 went to the modern era, and this one went back to World War II. But it had some really cool things like harder learning curve, harder difficulty in the story mode, gore and dismemberment. But today we're going to focus on the best things about it was their multiplayer maps. Here at number 10 we have Bonsai. Bonsai was one of those maps that came in the map pack 2, the second map pack, and when you first seen it, it looks beautiful. It has like a jungle backdrop, has some pretty long sight lines, especially going across that bridge. War was a good game mode to play on this map. They have like the little tunnels and catacombs, a lot of ways you can maneuver around. Pretty vertical map. It's not those traditional 2 or 3 lane maps, but it has a pretty vertical map. The submachine guns had a good gameplay on this map, but pretty much the machine guns and the assault rifles had a pretty fair time on this map with the long sight lines. And like I said, it's not too many. It's not a small map, but it's a pretty good map that submachine guns doesn't feel like it's out of place at all. So I have Bonsai coming in at number 10. And at number 9 we have Subhens. Subhens was also a map in the map pack DLC. I can't remember the name of it, but it was the second map pack as well as Bonsai. And I think this was the best map out of that map pack. You basically were playing on a submarine, old World War II submarine base. And you can play on, basically you're playing through the docks, and it's a tight square shaped map, corridors. A lot of frantic gameplay takes place in the middle, right there in the very middle. I think that's where the B flag was, but you can go. It had some levels had a second story to it, but tight corridors, very good for the submachine guns, MP40 and the PPSH. Okay map for assault rifles, but this map plays very well. If you had a submachine gun, it was a very fast-paced, frantic map, and I have it coming in at number 9. Coming in at number 8, we have Revolution. Revolution to me was the best map out of all the DLC maps, and it came in the 3rd and final map pack 3. This was a vertical map all the way around with a couple of bridges connecting to the main 2-story building in the middle. This map has some amazing sight lines for snipers and single shot rifles, but you can still play with submachine guns, shotguns, LMGs. It didn't matter. This has some amazing sight lines for all types of weapons. It seems kind of big at first, but once you get into the map, get the hang of it, and get the flow of how things go, where people are going to be, where all the action takes place, this map doesn't seem as big. And it doesn't seem like it has a lot of pointless areas like some maps seem to have sometimes, seem to be too big, be too open. But this was a pretty much a well-rounded map. I love it. You can get some artillery kills on this map, even though it has a lot of buildings and dogs. I mean, you hear those dogs echoing through these buildings. It puts some fear into you. So I have Revolution coming at number 8. To me, the best DLC map. And here at number 7 we have Airfield. Airfield was one of those maps that I like the way it looked. It's very open, very wide open, with some things placed in it. It's a bigger map than you think. It has some trenches and underground areas where you can sneak around and maneuver around and get the upper hand on your enemies. But this map was a pretty good domination map. I like team deathmatch probably the most because it's just the way you spawn on this map fit perfectly. You didn't die by a lot of just random things, but it has some really pretty good sight lines for a lot of weapons. You didn't have to feel like, oh, I gotta use this, I gotta use that, and you can pretty much use just about anything you want. This was a pretty good map. I love the way it looked, so I have Airfield at number 7. Here at number 6 we have Castle. And this is more like an Asian castle, basically. The theme of it all the way through. I love the way they designed this one. And this map is frantic. A lot of the gameplay took place, you know, just about every game. outside of like search and destroy, but a lot of it took place up towards the upper part of the castle. Down below, you didn't really get a lot of action down there, so it was one of those maps where, you know, you didn't really maneuver around the whole entire map. But this map, depending on what game mode you play, it's just frantic. I mean, you're never gonna be like, I hadn't seen anybody in 20-30 seconds. No, you're gonna see somebody every 10 seconds. You're gonna see somebody, or somebody's gonna see you. So this map is very, very fast paced. I love the way it looks. The temple style is one of my favorite maps. Obviously I have it at number 6. I was struggling between 6 and 5, but I have it at number 6. Very good map, fan favorite map. And here at number 5 we have Making, and I chose to go with the night making instead of the day making because I love nighttime maps. This is one of the few nighttime maps that actually work, that actually plays well, that isn't a pain in the ass. This is a pretty good map, and one of the few maps where you had some type of defense against dogs. I know a lot of people don't like dogs. I love dogs as a kill streak, but if you get in that water, for some people that don't know, the dogs will not come in that water. And this map had basically placed on a beach. You got these little huts, and you can pretty much identify everything, and you can snipe. You can play pretty much sniping, and assault rifles were the go-to weapons on this map. But I've had some gameplay experiences where the submachine guns and machine guns play pretty good. But Making Night, the nighttime map, was a top 5 map for me, so I have it at number 5. Here at number 4 we have Courtyard. Now this map is the prototypical Call of Duty map. It's pretty symmetrical. It's basically a square shaped map, and it's probably the second smallest map on this game next to Dome. And this is another map that plays pretty well. It doesn't feel like even though it's a small map, it doesn't feel like people are just spawning all over you and spawning behind you and too close to you. So it played very well. Search and Destroy was my favorite game mode to play on this map. I love it how it's like an attack just happened on this Japanese complex. Is this temple? It looked like the backside of castle. So Courtyard is a very intense, high-paced submachine gun map. Thompson MP40, you name it. On this map is perfect to go to. So I left Courtyard at number 4. And here at number 3 we have Asylum. Man, this map brings back a lot of memories, a lot of high-end kill KD ratio on this map. This map is basically like a broken down Asylum. You can see, it's basically another vertical map, and I think this World at War game had a lot of vertical maps, a pretty two-layer maps, you know, upstairs, downstairs. So but this map here plays pretty good. Pretty deceptive when you try to call in a UAV, and pretty much artillery was rendered useless on this map. But when you got dogs, I mean, it was pretty much no defense when you're running through here, and it's pretty scary when you hear these dogs feet going across that concrete chasing you. So Asylum was a pretty good map. Long sight lines, I love it. I love the theme of a broken down Asylum. And here at number 2 we have Hangar. Man, I love this map. This map is so fun to play on, especially with this gun right here, the Browning. This gun, I mean, we call it the brick dust. It just shred through things. And this map is basically an old hangar that harbored all the old World War II vehicles and airplanes like that. And you have the big hangar building right here, and then you have a couple of smaller buildings outside of it that interconnect, and you know, not as nearly as big as the big hangar building where a lot of the gameplay took a lot of the action took place. Pretty much every game mode you can play on here, it seems to fit and fun. The flow of it is not too frantic, it's not too slow paced. It's a perfect blend of everything on this map. And like I said, it don't matter what game mode you play or what gun you really use, but I found machine guns to be the most fun to use on this map. And before we get to number 1, here are a few honorable mentions.
Fight as one under the Emperor!
And the number 1 we have Upheaval. This is my favorite map on Call of Duty World at War. All my friends know this. This is my favorite game mode also to play is Team Deathmatch. You see some gameplay footage of it right here. And this map is basically a 3-lane vertical map. You have people spawning at the top and spawning at the bottom. Sometimes on the side, just depending on the game mode you play. It's a very fun game mode. You know, you can take the risk of going out in that middle, but you have so many buildings all the way around it on each side. You know, it's very risky to go out there. But even though you have all those buildings, it's not too campy. You would think that at first, but it's not too campy. It's the flow of it works the best to me out of any map on Call of Duty. And I just love the way it look. You had a railroad train in the back where people love to snipe out the little box cars. But this map was fun to play every time I played it, whether I did good, negative, whatever. Mostly did good. So now that's my favorite map on Call of Duty World at War. This is the top 10 series. I'm going to be dropping a video every Sunday, so be on the lookout. Hit the like button and subscribe, and thank you guys for watching.